Welcome back, everyone. My name's Tick, and today is the day that we do the level 50 quest for fishermen. It's where we get the good gear. Look at that, blue fishing rod. What does our fishing rod look like? Don't even know. But then we're gonna get the boots like usual. Fisher's wading boots. So, let's begin. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Sipsu needs your help with an emergency. Gods, this is unbelievable. According to the age-old adage, when the going gets tough, the tough go fishing. Unfortunately, the adage is of little use when the tough going happens to be a fishing ban. So, you haven't heard, have you? Eorzea has closed all docks and ports for fishing vessels on the authority of Admiral Murray. Some sailors supposedly spotted a serpent at sea, and so Safarin stated that for our safety, all our services must cease. Oh, that sucks. It is all so frustrating. Well, maybe a group of sedentary fishers, but we're not about to take this sitting down. Oh, calm your horses. First, we'll need to know what we're up against. The Garlean Empire maintains ties to the Maelstrom, so Sabel may know something we do not. It is time to go fishing for information. Oh, I can do that. And the quest is accepted. And it's you again. Well then. It's certainly a pleasure to see you again, though I wish they were under happier circumstances. News came as a shock to us as well. Any Lemosian who's ever boarded a boat has heard the tale. Back when the world was not but a dry, lifeless rock. The Manium created a giant serpent. From its massive maw, the creature spat forth water until the land was filled. But it would not stop. To prevent the world from being completely submerged, the navigator trapped the serpent in a floating island with the warning that if it were ever to be freed, the sea would rise until the world ended. This is from where the Theralistic motto, "To sea swallows all," comes. You can imagine the Admiral's surprise upon learning a scholar claims to actually have seen the serpent in question. While you and I may recognize it as a fairy tale aimed at scare children, the panic in the streets is real, and so Sarfon hasn't any choice but to take drastic measures in order to maintain the peace. Regrettably, those drastic measures have dire consequences for both your guild and my consortium. And the Maelstrom is too occupied with ship inaugurations to conduct a proper inquiry, meaning our only hope is to take matters into our own firm yet supple hands. Ahem. It may be impossible to prove the sea serpent does not exist, but perhaps testimony of the eyewitness could be impugned. I believe you have met the sailor responsible for the sighting, the one known as Chuchuron. Oh yes, I know Chuchuron. Know him quite well. Chuchuron see big fish at sea. Some say see sea serpent. Chuchuron just want fish to fish. Sea fishermen while ago about fishing fish in sea. Alright, so Walla go. Let's go talk to the guild master now. Step here, talk to him. I've seen enough at sea to know when sailors are seeing things. And what Chukaroon saw was no sea serpent for sure. Missing your marks will make mountains out of molehills. Distance deceives and deludes the minds of men at sea. My money says your serpent is a Mazaean marlin, a fairly big fish, but by no means a monster. You can see them barreling back and forth along the north of the bloodshore. But if spied from the shore, people will just shrug their shoulders. You need to make them meet that marlin up close and personal. I'll admit it's easier expressed than executed, and I've never nabbed one. If you don't loosen up your line, they'll rip your rod right out of your hands. But first, you need a bite. They won't waste a breath on worms from other waters. Mazaean marlin demand mooching, more familiar to you as fish welding, perhaps, or fish wheeling. And not just any mean of act mooching, but the daunting duty of the dynamic double mooch. I reckon you're ready for it. Get a goby ball and haul in a harbor herring. Once you've hitched your herring, offer it up to an ogre barracuda. Then bait that beast to make the Mazaean marlin bite. Makes me want to sail out myself, but Selfin would slay any guildmaster who sights him. Besides, I'm sure Sipsu will soon see you succeed at it. Very well. We did a double mooch. I may be lying again. I may have just bought it off the auction house because I got lazy. But you're using the double mooch line. Release, mooch, chum. Is there a double mooch? Hook, patience, release. I don't know. We'll move this mooch up here. Release. I don't care about releasing. Cast, hook. Patience should come over here. And then we'll put that chum right there. There we go. That looks good. Where are we headed at anyways? Oh, we're headed back in because we've already got the fish. Yes, we do. We double mooched everything. We're just going to say we did it. Yeah, I can't believe we're reduced to this. Still, while Wagalo's never been right for running a guild, he's never been wrong about a fish. If he says our serpent is a Mazaean marlin, that's what it is. And here it is. A large saltwater fish found in the warm waters south of the Sea of Ash and known for its remarkable swimming speed. Nice. That's a marlin? I can see how someone might mistake it for a monster. Hopefully, Shafon will see it the same. Come, Sabel arranged for us to speak with the Grand Storm Marshal. So many moons has it been, I can scarcely remember the last time I boarded a merchant ship for anything other than an inspection. Quite comfortable indeed aboard the luxurious fleet of the Burgundy Consortium, no doubt to put crooked mongers and traffickers at ease while making illicit deals at sea. Perish the thought, we would never dream of calling the Grand Storm Marshal to a vessel where such roguery took place. A shame. I'd imagine those sort of vessels were the most fun. I suppose we'd then best tend to business. Of course, sir. Allow me to introduce to you the Mazaean marlin. Look at that gigantic beast. And I was holding that in my pocket. Great lamented ghost. The only thing is massive. How did you catch it? Though I suppose that doesn't matter. At any rate, it is your contention that this marlin is our sea serpent. You can sing yourself to sleep with that silly sea serpent story, but it still won't hold water. I knew things were proceeding too smoothly. You always know just the wrong time to act, the guildmaster, don't you? Never you mind. I've known Wawa long enough not to mind his manners. Unlike his fish, I know when I'm being baited. Boy, you've been baiting and bullying us with your ban. Will you let up and lift it? A fine question. To lift the fishing ban or to not lift the fishing ban? What to do, what to do, what to do. On one hand, I could lift the ban, but on the other, dun, 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 dun. Now who's the one baiting? Why not? Of course. There are formalities we must observe, so I'm afraid the declaration will have to wait until the morrow. And the ban will be lifted, won't it? Unless you prefer it weren't. By no means. It's just a fear that simply bringing you a large fish might fail to serve as adequate evidence in overturning a formal military promulgation. Well, I never really believed all the sea serpent silliness in the first place. It was more about putting Lemosian's mind at ease than anything else. And the marlin you have brought me should accomplish just that. Look at that gigantic thing. A few of our more paranoid conspiracy theorists in the Maelstrom allege that the serpent to be part of an elaborate shaggling plot, so this should make for a nice laugh at their expense as well. And to think that all started because someone spotted a large fish. And because fishtails are wont to grow in size, the large fish became serpent size, and then ceased to be a fish altogether. Makes you wonder about what other sorts of overblown fantasies we've all been led to believe. It sounds like you were ready to lift the ban, whether we brought you marlin or not. If only it were that simple. A fine Graham Stormall shall it be if I went lifting bans willy-nilly without any evidence the problem had been solved. This marlin is essential to assuring the rational fears of the public. Well then, I suppose Tickman's efforts weren't for naught, after all. Only we wonder how the fishtail grew out of proportion in the first place. I don't delight in delving into details, but that deed might have been my doing. Why am I not surprised? When I mentioned to Chuchurum that the Mesera Marlin was a monster, I meant it metaphorically, but mayhap he must have understood. I think it would be in best interests of all involved if I don't hear any more of this story. The Maelstrom expresses its gratitude for your efforts in bringing this evidence to light. Your guild will be notified when the fishing ban is formally lifted. I bid you good day. There we go. Look at that big old fish. Can I get my reward now? Slipsu, can I have my fishing pole? Terrified to think a little exaggeration can get out of hand, particularly when you consider how often fishermen exaggerate. But it sounds like Satisfaction knew something was fishy all along. Nevertheless, you saved our guild from destruction at the hands of an imaginary sea serpent. Funny how Numaka delivered you to our doorstep just when we needed you most. And I certainly can't consider you a guppy anymore. Now that you've caught a marlin, the guildmaster himself's never quite reeled in. I'd say we'd name you the guildmaster, but then Wagalo would have nothing to dodge, and I'm not ready to let that fish off the hook so easily. But I suppose we could at least let him know he has a rival. And that might be your finest fishing accomplishment of all, luring Waligo back to work. Bam, let me get them boots. And complete. This concludes the Fisher quest for Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. In order to undertake the next series of quests, you must first meet the following requirements. You must have completed the main scenario quest before the dawn. Once you have done so, the next Fisher quest will be available from subscription. Whoa, he's got another little quest for us here. We might have to do it. But that's neither here nor there. What we want to check out is this fishing pole. See how it looks. We got our boots and the pole. Oh, look at that thing. Don't it not look fancy? Awesome. Can we throw it out one time? Oh yeah, look at all them gears up there. Looking good. Alright, well, thanks for joining me. My name's Tick, and that was the level 50 Fisherman Quest. So join me next time, and we're probably going to do the culinary. Take that all the way up to 50. So, until then, y'all take care.